Suppose you buy a car wash. It is Saturday morning. Cars are lined up at the entrance. License plates open the membership gate automatically. Every few minutes, another vehicle disappears into a tunnel of soap, brushes, and blowers. From the parking lot, the business looks like a machine that converts dirty cars into predictable cash. Now imagine owning more than 260 of those machines, washing roughly 24 million vehicles a year and generating about $300 million in annual revenue. Then imagine arriving in bankruptcy with approximately $654 million in funded debt and only about $1 million in cash. That is not a hypothetical warning. It is what happened to Zip's car wash. So what are you really buying when you buy a car wash? The answer is not soap. A modern express car wash is a subscription company, a traffic system, a water processing facility, and a highly leveraged piece of commercial real estate sharing one narrow parcel. If those parts work together, the result can be an unusually attractive roadside business. If one part fails, the line of cars can hide the problem until the balance sheet is already underwater. The first asset is not the tunnel. It is access. A site may sit beside a road used by thousands of drivers every day and still fail. Drivers need to notice the entrance early enough to turn. The median cannot block the most valuable direction of traffic. Cars need room to leave the road, queue, pay, enter the conveyor, reach the vacuum area, and exit without trapping one another. A beautiful parcel with an awkward entrance can be worth less than an ordinary parcel on the correct side of the street. This makes the real estate unusually specific. The site must be large enough for the building, equipment room, water tanks, vacuum stalls, employee parking, and stacking lanes. It also needs suitable zoning, drainage, sewer access, electrical capacity, and permission to create noise, traffic, and chemical storage close to neighboring properties. You are not simply buying land near cars. You are buying the ability to move dirty cars through the property without friction. Only then do you choose the operating model. A self-service wash rents a bay and a few minutes of water pressure. The customer supplies the labor. An in-bay automatic keeps the vehicle still while the machine moves around it. This format often appears beside a fuel station. A full-service wash adds interior cleaning and more employees. The model that attracted the most investment is the express exterior tunnel. The driver pays, aligns the tires, shifts into neutral, and lets a conveyor pull the vehicle through each stage. The tunnel can process cars continuously, and the customer may be outside again within minutes. That continuous movement is the economic engine. A restaurant adds customers one table at a time. An express tunnel can keep feeding vehicles into the same fixed system. Once the land, equipment, and core staff are already paid for, the cost of one additional wash can be much smaller than its selling price. But theoretical capacity is not the same as usable capacity. If the payment gate is slow, the stacking lane is too short, or an employee takes too long to guide each driver, cars leave before entering. If the vacuum area blocks the exit, the tunnel may be ready while the property is not. A badly placed curb can reduce revenue every day for years. In this business, time is inventory. An empty minute during a busy afternoon can never be washed tomorrow. The first revenue layer is the menu. The basic wash removes dirt. The next package adds wheel cleaner, underbody treatment, or protectant. The premium package may add wax, tire shine, or a ceramic product with a name designed to sound far more expensive than the liquid itself. The customer sees three different outcomes. The operator sees small changes in chemical use, attached to much larger changes in price. That is why the premium package can produce an attractive contribution margin. But individual purchases are unstable. They depend on weather, season, competition, and whether the driver feels the car is dirty enough today. The industry found a more valuable product than a clean car. It found the monthly habit. Under an unlimited plan, the customer pays one fixed fee and can return repeatedly. If one premium wash already costs a large share of the monthly price, the membership feels easy to justify. For the operator, the transformation is much more important. A driver who once made a fresh buying decision every few weeks becomes an automatic payment. The business receives revenue during rainy weeks, quiet mornings, and months when some members barely use the service. The most profitable member may not be the driver who arrives every day. It may be the person who likes having the option and visits only once or twice. This does not mean frequent users are automatically unprofitable. Much of the cost is already fixed, but usage still matters. More visits mean more chemicals, water, electricity, equipment wear, and opportunities for damage claims. An unlimited plan is profitable only when the average behavior of all members works in the operator's favor. Mr. Car Wash shows how completely subscriptions can reshape the model. At the end of 2025, the company operated 548 locations in 21 states and had approximately 2.3 million members in its Unlimited Wash Club. Memberships produced 76% of total wash sales. The company also said an average membership customer spent more than 4 times as much as an average retail wash customer. Annual revenue exceeded $1 billion for the first time. At that scale, the membership is not an extra button at the payment kiosk. It is the central product. The tunnel provides the service. The subscription creates the financial value. But recurring revenue does not eliminate recurring expenses. A car wash combines variable costs with a large block of fixed obligations. Each additional vehicle uses chemicals, water, electricity, and payment processing. Labor and damage claims also rise with activity. Meanwhile, the property payment, lease, insurance, software, management, equipment financing, and much of the payroll continue, whether the tunnel is full, empty, or closed. Maintenance is where optimistic spreadsheets meet wet machinery. Pumps wear down, nozzles clog, bearings fail, belts stretch, sensors become dirty, vacuums lose suction, blowers need service. Payment gates stop recognizing members. Every moving part operates around water, chemicals, grit, and vehicles whose owners expect to leave without a new scratch. Delaying maintenance can make 1 month appear more profitable. Then the conveyor stops during the busiest hours of the week. The loss is larger than the repair bill. The operator loses the washes that never occurred, angers members who are already paying, and risks training customers to visit a competitor. Uptime is not a technical detail. It is part of the subscription promise. Water creates another hidden business inside the property. A professional wash is not simply connected to a large hose. It meters flows, stores chemicals, separates contaminants, and may reclaim water for reuse. The United States Environmental Protection Agency cites studies in which conveyor washes using significant reclaimed water averaged about 30 gallons of fresh water per vehicle. Manufacturer estimates for systems without reclaimed water ranged from roughly 66 gallons to more than 85 gallons, depending on the type of wash. For an in-bay automatic system, reclamation can reduce fresh water use dramatically. That makes water reclamation both an environmental system and a cost control system. It can also require tanks, pumps, filtration, maintenance, and more capital before the first customer arrives. Water is therefore not only a utility expense, it is a permitting risk, an equipment risk, and, during drought, a political risk. The membership model also creates a customer retention problem. Automatic billing makes revenue predictable only while customers remain willing to pay. Poor cleaning, rude service, repeated closures, damage to a vehicle, or an easier competitor nearby can turn a valuable member into a cancellation. This is why a wash must track more than car count. How many visitors buy a membership? How much does it cost to acquire one member? How long does that member stay? How often does the member wash? What happens after an introductory discount ends? How many cancellations follow an equipment failure or price increase? A busy tunnel can still have weak economics if it constantly replaces customers who leave. The subscription also explains why investors became interested in the industry. Car washing was fragmented. Many locations were owned by small local operators. A larger chain could acquire sites, modernize equipment, add membership lanes, centralize advertising, and allow members to use multiple locations. The plan appeared repeatable. Buy a wash, add subscriptions, improve throughput, open another site, repeat. But the same strategy produced a building boom. When a new competitor opens nearby, it is not creating a second need for car washing. It is competing for the same vehicles and often the same monthly payment. Most households will not carry 3 unlimited wash plans. So the new location offers a discounted membership. The older location spends more on advertising. Both operators need more cars to cover land, labor, and financing. Prices become harder to raise just as costs are rising. This is the difference between recurring revenue and guaranteed revenue. Recurring revenue can be cancelled. Debt cannot. Zip's car wash illustrates the danger. The company expanded rapidly through new locations and acquisitions. By the time of its Chapter 11 filing in February of 2025, court documents described more than 260 locations across 23 states, approximately 1,800 employees, and roughly 625,000 unlimited wash members. Those members generated more than 2/3 of approximately $303 million in annual revenue. The business had scale, it had subscriptions, it had customers. It washed about 24 million vehicles a year. It also entered bankruptcy with about $654 million of funded debt and roughly $1 million in cash. The restructuring plan was designed to reduce funded debt by approximately $279 million and transfer control to lenders. The lesson is not that membership failed. Membership helped create a large operating business. The problem was that expansion, competition, labor costs, and interest obligations consumed the flexibility that the company needed. A new site may take time to build a mature membership base. The loan does not wait for maturity. Interest begins immediately. This is the most dangerous illusion in the industry. A line at the entrance proves that customers exist. It does not prove that the owner keeps the money. Weather makes the model even more deceptive. Rain can reduce visits because customers expect the car to become dirty again. Snow can create demand after roads are salted, but a severe storm can close the site. Freezing temperatures can damage equipment. Drought can increase restrictions. Extreme heat can affect both workers and machinery. Memberships smooth the revenue from one bad week, but they do not repeal weather. If customers feel they cannot use the plan, they eventually cancel. So, before buying a car wash, you would not begin with the color of the building or the price of the premium package. You would count traffic by direction and study how drivers actually enter the property. You would measure stacking space and find the true number of vehicles the complete site can process, not merely the advertised speed of the tunnel. You would separate single wash revenue from membership revenue. Then examine conversion, usage, and cancellation rates. You would inspect every major piece of equipment, the maintenance history, the expected replacement schedule, and the cost of closing during a repair. You would verify water, sewer, drainage, reclamation, and local restrictions. You would map every competing wash, including sites that have been permitted but not yet built. And you would stress test the debt against a delayed opening, a new competitor, weaker membership growth, higher wages, and several weeks of poor weather at the same time. Because that is the real car wash business. The customer sees foam, brushes, and a clean hood. The owner sees land access, cars per hour, membership churn, water recovery, equipment uptime, and interest due every month. The most valuable asset is not the soap or even the tunnel. It is permission to charge repeatedly for a habit that customers do not want to think about. That habit can create one of the most predictable businesses on the roadside. But a predictable payment is not the same as an unlimited borrowing capacity. At the beginning, we saw a company with hundreds of operating locations, hundreds of thousands of members, and almost no cash compared with its debt. That is the final warning. The most dangerous car wash is not necessarily the empty one. It may be the crowded one, whose future cash flow has already been promised to somebody else. If you enjoy seeing where the money actually goes inside familiar businesses, subscribe. The next company may look successful from the parking lot too. The important story usually begins after you look beneath the revenue.